In this next step, we're going to be adding some structure. So we have the walls for the metal framed structure in place, and we have these roofs. And right now there's no structural support for them. We do have, if we go to section number 1 here, there is a footing that's located at the center of the structure. And so to support this, I mean, there's a number of ways that we could have done this. There could have been a bearing wall that ran down the middle of the structure, but if we want to keep it open, it may be better to go to a column and beam kind of configuration. So I'm going to place 3 columns going down the middle. I'll go to level 1 to show you where they're going to be. One column will be at the center, and then one column will be at the perimeter wall and this perimeter wall. So the first thing that we need to do is bring in some columns. We could have framed this entire structure using the light gauge metal, but sometimes you'll find that you want, for some reason or another, to have a large opening or something like that. And so you might integrate other types of construction. So these will be made out of steel, not light gauge steel, but steel like you would frame an entire high rise in, for example. So I'm going to go to Insert, Load Autodesk Family, and I've already started looking up HSS as a type of steel member. I'm going to scroll down till I get to HSS square column. I'll go with this 15.0 version. It probably doesn't matter. We're just kind of starting off with some rough ideas about the sizes for these things. And when the table loads here and I need to select one, I can narrow it down by going to, let's try for a 6-inch one. So when I click on 6 inches, I see anything that's 6 inches by whatever height. And then I see a number of thicknesses. Again, without going through all the structural calculations, I don't really know exactly how big this needs to be, but I'm using an approximation here. I'm going to go with a W, or not a W, an HSS 6x6 by half, and click on OK. Now I'm going to go to structure and column, and I should have a bunch of different columns in here. The one I want is going to be the one I just loaded in here, HSS 6x6, and I'm going to place it. It's going to be a vertical column. And it's going to go right here at the intersection of these 2 column lines. So let's see here. Did I fall out of that column? Yeah. And I'll click right here. And it's going to place one, but it's probably not the right size that I need. So let's take a look at how it is in section 1. Yeah, it's not where I need it to be at all. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to start making some changes. I'm going to bring it up to level 2.5, and my base level is going to be level 1. Right now, the slab would probably be poured after this was located, and I want it to go down to where this footing is. So let's measure our slab thickness is 6 inches. So I'm going to click on that column, and I'm going to bring it down -6 inches and apply. Okay, so now you can see it goes down to the footing. Maybe those footings needed to be a little bit deeper. We'll leave them for now as they are. And then I'll click on it again, and I want this column to go kind of all the way up here, and it's going to support another member that I'm going to bring in. But for now, let's just assign a dimension for it from level 2.5. Let's bring it up to 5 feet 6 inches above there. Now, again, we may want to make some adjustments to that, but we'll leave that as it is for the moment. And I'm also going to bring into this file some beams. But before I do that, let's make copies of this one. I'll go to level 1, click on it, copy, and I'm going to copy from, actually, I'm going to copy from the face of that column, and I'm going to head down here. I want that column to be inside the insulation layer. So I can see here, I've got my siding, I've got the air gap. This is the insulation. There's a sheathing layer, and this is my metal framing layer. I'm going to put it in with that. So again, this is a metal component, and it is subject to the same thermal bridging as you have with the metal framing. So you can see that this column is a little bit bigger than my wall thickness. If that bothered you, you could always make this a 2x6 wall. But also this could just have some drywall that wraps around it, and you'd see the column expressed on the inside of the surface. Now I'll do the same thing for the column that's going to be on the north wall. Copy from this point here, and I will bring that all the way over here. So again, it's sitting in the same layer as the metal framing layer. Right, I have my section number 2 here. I can kind of go down there and take a look and see how it is. All right, it's not showing me completely everything because of the way that I have my window cropped. I can go to level 1 and I can pull this in a little bit. So I'm only seeing the parts of the structure that I want to. Section 2. Okay, so there is that number, and you can see it's not going all the way up to the top, but we'll make any corrections in the next pass.